Hello everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful day today. This weekend, I spent a little bit of time on each Souls game, seeing how long it would take to at least get the invasion item for each game. The PlayStation Days of Play sale is going on at the moment, and the Souls series is $20 each. So I went ahead and bought Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. I already had Dark Souls 3 installed on my PlayStation from a few months ago. And I decided it would be kind of a fun video to have an invasion from each of the older games. Now, this video won't have an Elden Ring invasion. If you're looking for Elden Ring invasions, I have plenty on my channel, and there's plenty of better Elden Ring creators by far. I mean, come on. If I'm doing this in an invasion, I don't think you want to see me in an Elden Ring invasion. But anyway, I had a lot of fun this weekend. I streamed the character creation for both Dark Souls Remastered and Dark Souls 2. And invasions are, they're around. Obviously you play online. And it's different to be invaded in each game, which I found very interesting. Because Elden Ring was my first Souls game. I kind of expected, the multiplayer kind of to say the same. Where Dark Souls 1, obviously, right from a bonfire, you become human, and you're flagged for invasions, right then and there. Dark Souls 2, you are flagged for invasion at any point. You are, whether you're human or not. So, almost anywhere you go, there is a possibility of someone being there, as long as you have your cross-region playmaking on it, excuse me. You're gonna find a few action, and that goes for PC as well. PC will have a lot of action, especially with that system of being able to be invaded, whether human or not. And then Dark Souls 3, you can flag yourself for invasions, in the middle of a level, by using an Ember. So you can see here, I'm really trying hard to pancake this guy with this Vihander, because it's fun to do. But really, the difference between all the Souls games, that just makes FROMSOFT games in general just so unique, the multiplayer aspects. You just don't get this kind of interaction in other games. I mean, look at that pancake. We got him. It's a completely different experience, and it's something I'm super glad that I've gotten the chance to experience. Right here we're gonna see a little bit of a clip, last clip of Dark Souls Remastered. You can't backstep out of emotes. That guy learned the hard way. I tried to save him. I did. But yeah, that's the kind of fun. There's still people looking to do some jolly cooperation in Dark Souls Remastered. You might have to wait a little bit, but they're out there. They're looking for you. They're looking for your sign. Go place it. It's a lot of fun. Dark Souls 2. This game, well, it deserves some of the hate that it gets. It certainly doesn't get enough love. Some of the covenants and stuff in Dark Souls 2. Look at that kick. Purely on purpose. An actual on-purpose kick to break the shield. Anyway, Dark Souls 2 doesn't get the love it deserves, I feel. And when it comes to the creativity, now obviously the enemy and level design, as for like how many enemies are in one level, it can get pretty ridiculous, and that's completely understandable. It makes the PvE kind of a pain to go through to try and PvP. But I'm hustling through it. I'm having a lot of fun. Dark Souls 2 is fun. You just gotta muscle through it, really. Then, by golly, we got Bloodborne. Now this, I actually had to look up like a PvP hotspot to see really what's going on, but I think this guy was just an average Joe going through the game, I believe. And I think this is my first ever duel I've ever done, and first ever online duel I've done, I believe. I've done a little bit of co-oping and such in Bloodborne, but this is the first time I'm actually doing any player v player action, or as the kids call it, PvP, in Bloodborne. Now, Look at this thing. Look at the frickin' pizza cutter go. And and the rally system, very unique, really cool. This is really haven't had many other chances to PvP in Bloodborne, but this surely was a fun little experience. That's for sure. Look at this. He brings out the wheel shield. That's badass. But yeah, Bloodborne PvP seemed pretty fun. I'll probably have to try it out sometime. Look at that. Part 2. But yeah, I'll definitely have to come back and revisit some Bloodborne PvP. That's for damn sure. And I'll finish you off here with the Dark Souls 3 invasion. Now, Dark Souls 3, and I guess the Souls games in general, when you use the dried finger, you can't turn it off unless you travel at a bonfire. Imagine that. If you ask to be invaded, you can't no longer not ask to be invaded unless you die, go into boss fog, or travel bonfires. Something that Elden Ring, I would say, is a little bit of an oversight in Elden Ring, because a lot of the times, unless you find a host who actually likes PvP, they'll turn off the Taunter's Tongue and, you know, make sure that you don't get a second invader. Where you can't do that in Dark Souls 3. And also the PvP hotspots that are in the Souls games, such as these woods here, you know, Pontiff's another area. I feel like the Pontiff's for big boys, though. I haven't dabbled too much in the Pontiff scene. Maybe one day I'll be ready for it, but I feel like that's a little bit of an thing that was overlooked in Elden Ring, you know, being able to turn off the Taunter's Tongue right away. Now the multiplayer system in Elden Ring is completely different. There were a lot of reasons to multiplayer in Dark Souls 3, you know, with all these covenants. Like, as you can see, I'm invading as a Sunbro with the yellow tint, and every time I win an invasion, I get a sunlight medal, which is my proof of concord for my covenant. So it gives these online interactions some meaning. Where Elden Ring, you get a rune arc to activate a great rune, which invaders can't use, unless you use Mog's. But that doesn't. There's not a lot of people who use Mog's rune, because the hardest invasions are where the level's cleared. So, I have been dabbling a lot in the lower levels of Dark Souls 3. I have a lot more time in the Dark Souls 3 PvP than I do in any of the other games. Maybe Dark Souls 2 is next to that. But I feel like, you know, minus some of the funny glitches that do occur in the PvP and the other things, you know, that can happen. For a noob like myself, that could be a little bit of a nuisance, but it's not something that ruins the game for me. You know, I'm more than happy to put up with some of the junk that's in Dark Souls 3 when I'm taking a break from Elden Ring, because I haven't played a lot of Elden Ring recently. I've been playing a lot of these games just to keep myself fresh. Here I use one of our Siegbrows. Now I have to win this invasion. You know it's serious, and you know I want to win this bitch. And they aggroed a lot of shit. They're running from me. But you're going to see why I've been spending a lot of time in Dark Souls 3. Now, obviously, these guys are running the bonfire. Normally, in Elden Ring, I'd be screwed. I'd have to go up to that Grace and fight them 2v1. I'd have no option. But because we are in the Watchdog Woods, we have an absolute legend to co-invade with us. In a 2v2 situation, I have no heals. I have no blue. It is just me and this co-invader against the world. I've dwindled these guys' supplies. I know that even if I die, that he will pull off the victory for me. And that's just nice to know. If I want to stay at a low enough level to invade with the Watchdog, so I know I'll get a co-invader. While it doesn't happen often, people are actually co-oping through these woods, and it's actually just fight clubs. It's nice to have backup in situations like this. Boom. Look at that. They crumble hard. And like I said, I knew my co-invader got me. Yeah, look at the moving point down, too. See, Dark Souls 3 is a good game. You should go buy the games on sale right now. That'll be it for me.